Good evening, everyone, and a hearty welcome to our webinar on the middle school at Good Shepherd International School, Ooty. I'm Anushya from the Admissions Department. At Good Shepherd International School, we are committed to providing an exceptional educational journey for your children. This webinar is designed to give you a comprehensive overview of what our school offers for students within the three curricula that we offer to the middle school. Throughout the session, we'll explore key aspects of our program, including the ICSE, IGCSE, and MYP curriculum, a typical daily schedule, how we promote holistic development, and our dedicated pastoral care system. We understand you have questions and we'll be happy to answer them, providing clarity on the program, our school, and our policies. I'm honored to introduce our distinguished panelists who will be sharing their expertise with us. First, we have Mrs. Deepa Suresh, our esteemed headmistress. Next, we have Mrs. Archana Singh, our MYP coordinator. We have Mrs. Rekha Jacqueline, coordinator for SISKI and Cambridge. Mrs. Soumya Tripathi, our HOD, career counseling. Before we begin, a few quick housekeeping reminders to ensure a smooth session for everyone. Please keep your microphone muted to prevent any background noise. If you have any questions, please type it into the chat box. We will collect all your questions and our panelists will address them during the question and answer segment. To start things off, we will now watch a short video that provides an introduction to the ICSE and IGCSE curriculums from Mrs. Rekha Jacqueline and about the MYP curriculum from Mrs. Archana Singh and about the career guidance from Ms. Soumya Tripathi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a webinar on the ICSE and Cambridge programs at the middle school level. We will begin with an in-depth exploration of how the ICSE framework equips students for academic advancement and personal growth. The Indian Certificate of Secondary Education, ICSE, initiated in 1958, is recognized for its robust, diverse, and comprehensive academic approach. The curriculum integrates in depth academic content with a focus on co curricular and life skills, ensuring learners grow intellectually, emotionally, and socially. ICSE goes beyond textbook learning, inspiring advanced reasoning, curiosity, creativity, and social emotional wellness through a variety of experiences and opportunities. Students regularly engage in practical assignments, project based work, and creative activities, all designed to foster critical thinking, encourage collaborative efforts, and nurture independent research abilities. ICSE subjects span a broad range, each taught with depth and rigor to give students a strong foundation for future academic choices. The curriculum not only emphasizes core sciences and mathematics, but also gives equal importance to humanities, languages, and co curricular activities. Our subject offerings include English language, English literature, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, history and civics, geography, and a second language, allowing for the growth of well rounded, communicative, and culturally aware individuals. A hallmark of ICSE is its system of continuous assessments carried out through regular internal evaluations, projects, and practical assignments. This method allows educators to continuously monitor each student's strengths and challenges, providing a solid base to personalize instruction, encourage improvement, and implement timely interventions throughout the academic year. Such a comprehensive evaluation model relieves exam pressure, encourages steady development, and promotes intrinsic motivation to learn. We now turn to the Cambridge program for lower secondary. The Cambridge curriculum stands out for its broad and balanced design, giving middle schoolers opportunities to discover their interests, develop aptitudes, and acquire a global perspective for an interconnected world. Inquiry based learning principles anchor the Cambridge approach, supporting the development of critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills. Lessons are explicitly linked to real world applications, supporting deep understanding and engagement. Beyond academics, Cambridge places a strong emphasis on languages and cultures, helping students strengthen their communication competencies and global awareness. The program's active learning philosophy ensures engagement and participation, encouraging students to take initiative in their own learning and think about the broader context of their studies. Learners should take part in a variety of activities that encourage them to think about applying the knowledge or skill they have acquired rather than the task itself. Essential skills such as literacy, numeracy, and digital literacy are prioritized, preparing students for both further learning and international opportunities. Subjects offered through Cambridge include English language, English literature, mathematics, a foreign language, integrated social studies, computing, physics, chemistry, biology, global perspectives, and art and design. Students may also participate in Cambridge checkpoint examinations in global perspectives, English, and mathematics. Each of these tests are followed by detailed report of every student's performance from Cambridge for each of the strands in all the subjects. Cambridge also provides a statement of achievement for each learner, both a digital and print version. This report gives feedback from our Cambridge principal examiners on learners' performance worldwide in all the subjects for the test series.
A very warm hello to all our prospective parents. Now, I like to begin with a small story. A few years ago, during an admission conversation like this one, a parent asked me, why should my child choose the IB over a national curriculum? And instead of me answering them, her 13-year-old son spoke first. He said, because here they don't ask me what I want to be when I grow up. They ask me what problems I want to solve. That moment captured the soul of the middle years program. MYP is not built on textbooks or rote learning. It is built on questions, curiosity, courage to explore ideas. It is a learning pathway for children aged 11 to 16, where every unit begins not with information but with inquiry. Why does this matter? How is this connected? What can I create from this understanding? In MYP, learning is framed through 6 powerful global lenses. We call them global context, where students are exploring identity, history, art, science, mathematical equations, and world issues. They learn to look beyond one answer, beyond one perspective, beyond one script. We also design our learning through 5 lifelong skill families. We call them approaches to learning, and they are thinking, communication, research, collaboration, and self-management. These skills stay with students even when the content change, even as they progress through years, when careers shift and the world evolves, which is why our students from MYP walk into higher studies, the diploma program more prepared, more grounded, and more confident. Now, how are our students assessed here? Imagine assessment not as comparison but as clear milestones. In MYP, each subject is assessed using 4 skills-based criteria on a scale of 0 to 8. Your child is never measured against another child. They are measured against a well-defined standard and their own growth. This means feedback becomes their fuel. reflection becomes their habit, and improvement becomes their natural cycle. And definitely not a stressful sprint just before the exam, but it's an ongoing journey. And the most inspiring part are signature MYP journeys, interdisciplinary units, where each year our student are exposed to a blend of subjects to solve real life problems. Uh, our MYP 5 grade 10 students choose their projects, which is also called personal project. It's a self-driven exploration that ends in a tangible product or a solution. There is another component called services action, where empathy moves from words into meaningful community contribution. These are experiences most national curricula do not formally build, assess, or document, but we do. So when your child joins MYP, they are not just joining a program, they're joining a culture of thinkers, creators, and problem solvers. A place where learning is connected, children are seen, growth is intentional, systems are aligned, and voices truly matter. Thank you.
Greetings, parents. I am Soumya. I head the Career Guidance Department here at Good Shepherd International School. We are going to be talking about middle school today and how the career guidance part and the college guidance part happens here at GSIS for the students. We usually start with sessions that are happening for the students from grade 8 and onwards. Why is grade 8 a crucial part? It is that part where the students are going to be heading towards the first level of choice that they'll make for their subject selection. So the moment they move from grade 7 to grade 8, they have a little bit of choices of subjects. Then they move from grade 9 to grade 10, they have choices for subjects. And then when they move from grade 10 to grade 11, that's like the deepest choice that they come in. So we want to introduce to them how to go ahead and make choices when you're looking at subjects, and how to keep it more, I would say, more, placed across the different disciplines. When I say placed across different disciplines, talking to these kids, grade 8 students, about choices of subjects, choices of curriculum, is where we want them to know, and want the parents also to know in this case, that as much as they keep it spread out right now, it will be better for them to understand the subjects that they want to take in grade 11 and 12. So grade 8 largely is a time where you keep a range of subjects with yourself and not try to stick to one or specialize according to a single stream or a single set of subjects. Apart from that, we also go ahead and conduct weekly sessions with students of grade 8. What kinds of sessions are these? These are extremely activity based sessions. For example, a very recent one that we conducted with our grade 8 students was a very simple exercise where we asked them to collect newspapers for the week and bring out any advertisement from that newspaper. It could be a written ad or a print ad, and from there they had to go ahead and point out the careers that were shown through that advertisement. So a bike advertisement definitely had a lot of copywriting, digital editing. It had a lot of design to it. It had a lot of automobile engineering to it, and children came up with all sorts of careers. The idea here by doing these sessions is to, in a very subtle manner, in a very interesting manner, to go ahead and introduce to them what are the kinds of careers that are existing and what is the pathway that they can take up for different kinds of careers. So right now it is all about exploration. When the students are in the middle school, the one thing that we also tell the parents all the time, don't try to make them specialize from then onwards. That is the time that they can explore, that is the time that they can find things out, and get to know more, so that when they start choosing, they do not make uninformed choices. They say that I know about this, and when I choose not to do something, I have a reason why I don't want to do it. So it's super important when you're talking to your child, or when we also talk to the children, we ensure that we share information with them, we share experiences with them, we give them opportunities to do a lot of experiences, and therefore they are able to decide whatever they want to decide. Now there's a difference between two things. A lot of parents have, come back to us and ask us, how important is it, how many activities that my child needs to participate in to be able to get into a good college? Can I put a number to that? Absolutely no. What I can absolutely do is to ensure that give such opportunities to the child, where the child feels that they are able to explore in the right way, that they are able to find out an experience in the right way. Please understand, parents, this entire experience is not about them having a certain number of activities or a certain number of certificates. It's about them balancing the breadth and the depth of activities. The depth of activities we can start from grade 9 and grade 10 as well. But grade 8 and the middle school is a very, very crucial time, like I said before, for them to be able to experience a large number of things and get themselves the right kind of exposure. Another part that we would like to address here is, a lot of times we see that students are in need of genuine constant interaction with the career guidance counselor. We have a dedicated counseling team, career guidance counseling team here at GSIS, and we very, very strongly believe in taking one-on-one sessions. Every evening we have students pouring into our offices, where they take their slots, come to us for 15-20 minutes, share with us whatever they have read or whatever they want to talk to us about, and we talk to them about what is happening in the rest of the world of work, and we guide them around what could be a more direct pathway for them, and how can they go ahead and explore the different ways to kind of explore those pathways. All of this is spoken to them about, and they're guided on all of this for one-on-one sessions. The students are called for scheduled sessions from our end also, and there is a way in which they can schedule their sessions on the Task Central, which is our intranet, and come up to us and talk to us as well. Apart from this, if we go ahead and talk about guided profile building, now that's something that starts, I think, for a school like Good Shepherd, students are already doing a lot from grade 4 itself, from the time you join the school. But if you talk about a more focused profile building, that really does start from grade 8. So by grade 8, it is believed that the students are able to segregate that these are the areas I'm a little more interested in, and these are the areas maybe I'll have to give a little more time to improve in, or maybe I don't know if I really want to stick to them. But can we separate these out at grade 8 level? Absolutely no. However, when the child reaches grade 9, we try to go ahead and plan their grade 9, 10 and 11 activities in a way. So if I were to explain it to you, can you imagine an inverted funnel with grade 8 being the top of the funnel, the broader end of the funnel, and grade 12 being the narrower end of the funnel? So students go ahead and start with grade 8, and we start segregating out the activities wherein they feel that they have not been able to make a mark, or the ones that are not very well connected with them. Then we also go ahead and talk to them right around grade 10, what are the kind of countries that they want to go to. So for example, someone who's looking at something like a Europe or a UK, it makes more sense to look at supercurriculars that are academic in nature. For someone who's looking at the US, in that case, it makes more sense for them to go ahead and see extracurricular activities that are broader in nature, but you still have several activities that are academic and very, very discipline focused in nature. So say for example, if I want to do computer science in the US, for the US, we would rather guide you to go ahead and have your sports in place, your performing arts in place, your fine arts in place, your community service in place, and yet have at least 3 to 4 strong activity choices or opportunities for yourself, where you are clearly showcasing your mettle in computer science. However, for the UK and the rest of the Europe, or maybe even Singapore, we'd rather have you write Olympiads, we'd rather have you write different kinds of international examinations, etc., so that that part of your profile comes out clearly. So to kind of sum it up, parents, this starts with grade 8, but gets better with every growing grade that the student is part of here at the school. We hope that gives you a little bit of understanding of how career guidance works here for the MS at GSIS, and not just for the MS, for the later grades as well. We would love to have more questions from you later during the event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that video. That was very informative. Deepa Mas, would you like to share views on what makes GSIS different from other international residential schools?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So, GSIS looks into the holistic development of the child. Along with academics, it takes interest in the development of the child. There are various activities which help them to, improve their skill building. So everything is available in a platter, whether it is music, whether it is dance, whether it is band, art, swimming, golf, you name it, and we have all the sports. So we believe in, where the students live. All our students are 100% residential, so they don't spend time shuttling from one place to another, there, because even though the campus is huge, the timetable is structured in such a way that everything becomes part of their curriculum. The teacher student ratio is 1:4. That means individual attention is given to all the students so that they can thrive in whatever event or activities they do. As we saw in the video, we offer three curricula: the ICSE, the IGCSE, as well as the MYP. We are an IBDP continuum school, that is, we follow PYP, MYP, and the DP. Now, being a huge campus, all our teachers are 100%, they stay on campus. So if the students have any doubt, easily approach teachers and clarify their doubts. They need not go like outside, they have to go for tuitions, wait for the teachers. Here, everything is available in one go. Entire campus, we have a well-structured security and more than 800 cameras. Wherever the students go, it's all been captured. And we have a tight security for the safety and well-being of the kids. Two 40 bedded hospitals for boys and girls with 2 medical officers and 8 resident nurses, which makes GSIS a totally different school of thought. Talking about food, we have exceptionally, nutritious, balanced diet for the kids, where we provide mostly it's from the farm, our own farm. It is all organic food, and the chicken and the eggs from our own poultry. So I think all these, which is in-house in GSIS, makes GSIS a different school. Hope I answered your question, Anu.
Yes, Miss. Thank you so much for that clear explanation. Rekha, Miss, could you add more on how the ICSE and IGCSE curriculum prepare the students for a rapidly changing world?
Thank you, Anu. Thank you for that question. Yes, ICSE, I would like to talk about ICSE first. So there is a misconception that ICSE is very textbook driven. It is only what is there in the book that children learn. No, ICSE has evolved. A lot of changes have been brought in the curriculum, in the structure of the syllabus for every subject. So what happens with these subjects, the ones that ICSE offers, is there is a lot of attention given to their conceptual understanding and in-depth understanding of what they are learning. And apart from that, they also have hands-on activities, lab classes to understand, take their classroom learning beyond the classroom into practical applications. And we also have these competency-focused questions that have been introduced by the Council in alignment with the National Education Policy. Now, though the emphasis on these competency focused questions is primarily with grades 9, 10, 11, and 12, we at GSIS have started implementing it for every child from grade 6 across all subjects. Reason that those are questions that target the higher order thinking skills. So it is not just about, textbook learning, it is also about applying the knowledge in various situations. So for which we need to train them from an early age with these competency focused questions. And moving on to Cambridge, now that is a curriculum that is well structured with a syllabus that focuses on real life applications as well. So here in GSIS, we have a lot of subjects well curated, keeping their requirements, their career choices, their university requirements in mind. So Cambridge encourages problem solving skills, analytical skills through inquiry based learning and critical thinking skills. It is also a subject that involves students again in applying their learning beyond classrooms into real life situations. So if I talk about global perspectives, for example, that is a subject which has students do a lot of work in addressing an area of concern in the local and the global platform. So they choose an area, it could be sustainability, or it could be, addressing any other concern where children explore the idea. They come up with methods on how this problem can be addressed and they work as a team. So when we talk about ICSE and Cambridge, there are a couple of similarities and differences between the two. Ms. Vinola, can we have that slide, please? Yes. Yes, this is the one. So when we talk about ICSE, the assessment patterns have a strong emphasis on questions that target the higher order thinking skills like critical thinking, analytical thinking. And in Cambridge, if we talk about the assessments, there is a component that comes there. So every subject has more than one component. For example, if I talk about mathematics, it has a non-calculator paper and a calculator paper. So the same syllabus being tested for two different objectives. And we also have hands-on learning, project-based learning, similar both in ICSE and in Cambridge. But the commonalities would be a very comprehensive curriculum and a very structured curriculum with a lot of focus on conceptual understanding and in-depth understanding, a wide range of subject choices which children need to, as Ms. Soumya mentioned in her talk, this is an age where children explore all subjects. This is not the stage where they specialize in a particular area. So we have subjects curated, keeping all of this in mind. And we also have the system of continuous assessments, the formative and the summative. Thank you, Vinola.
That was an insightful explanation. Thank you so much, Miss. So we have few questions coming in. Archana, Miss, there's a question. What are the benefits of MYP curriculum, and how do you assess whether a child is ready for MYP?
Thank you for the question. In fact, how is child ready for, MYP is a cliche because every child is ready for, fun learning and learning in the way they want to learn. So I will say if your child is more into different kinds of activities, if they want to if they want to explore all kinds of things, I think MYP is the right choice because here they will have tasks based on all the skills. So we just don't focus on one skill, we focus on all the skills. So if your child wants to explore and it's like he or she is a risk taker, then definitely MYP is the right choice. What was the other question? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, the importance of MYP.
Yes, importance of MYP. So, MYP is basically a framework which focuses on skill building, as I said. So, when students come in, and I'm in MYP, they, research real case studies with credible sources. They know what are the credible sources, whether the sources is biased or should be used in the right place. They work in teams. They work in groups, which is also a mandatory part of our tasks. And we work in different manner in different subjects. They also present their ideas in different ways, not just in writing, but in speaking, in acting. We do have role plays. We do have sometimes we present our concept in the form of poems or in form of stories. Then whenever we study a unit, we conclude a unit in some kind of problem solving. We look for solutions. So we create solution through collaboration and thinking. Whether that solution can be used in the real life is another process. So it starts the next journey. And reflection is something that we continuously do after every step. What we have done is feasible, not feasible, what can be done more. So every step we have questions, we look for answers, and it's a real life habit of growth. So yeah, that is what we do in MYP.
Perfect. Thank you, Miss. Rekha, Miss, we have a question from Mr. Gunal Sen. What goals do you have for your middle school children?
Thank you for that question. Our goals for middle school children are set around one, the skills they need to acquire at that age. So it is a vision of our school is holistic development for every child. So our goals for middle school is also aligned with the vision of the school. It is on the skills they develop, the kind of individuals each of them grow into. Every child is different. Every child learns at his or her own pace, and they have their own areas of interest. They have their own strengths. So our aim is to ensure that every child gets that required attention, and the skills are honed and they bloom into successful individuals along with academic success in what they are doing, and also develop confidence in public speaking, to just name a few. Confidence in public speaking, and take part in all the activities that we offer, so that they start building their profile at an early age, as Ms. Soumya said, so that they have their portfolio also built from a younger age, and they know what their area of interest is and what they want to specialize as they grow up into higher classes.
Thank you, Miss. That was the next question to Soumya, Miss. Miss, how do you help middle school students explore their strengths and interests for future career choices? That was the question.
Thank you, Anumis. We do it two ways. I think it's a true two-pronged strategy we have. One is to definitely help them to develop their choices. The other one is to also help them develop their skills, because when one is happening, the other is automatically gonna happen. Now, how do we do it? A couple of things that I mentioned in the video before. We have one-on-one sessions and we have group sessions. All the MS students, grade 8 students specifically, are having group sessions with career guidance counselors once in a week. And there are a lot of activities that are planned for them. As a school, we also believe that we do not keep the students away from interacting with the universities. So it is as early as middle school that our students start interacting with universities. We have sessions from all the universities that visit us. We have a very large scale career university fair that happens, wherein the students have sessions with the universities. They go and visit their stalls, they talk to them. So that is another way that we go ahead and try to develop some choices that they can for themselves. If they're exactly not able to point out what they want to do, at least they should be able to point out, this is what I'm not interested in, or this is what I'm not drawn towards. Apart from that, there's a lot of project based learning that is intuitively happening at school. We have a full fledged STEM department at school. We have a lot of clubs at school, right from the literary club to the culinary club to the horses and the hooves. So a lot of interest building is happening in different areas, and this choices of clubs, completely the student choice. You join a club as per what you are interested in, and these clubs are happening once every week. These are almost an hour and a half long sessions that they have with the masters who are associated with the club, and they're doing different activities. We're actively doing a lot of community services with the students as well. So all of these things are direct things that are resulting directly in uh, whether or not a child is interested in something or they want to explore ahead. Apart from that, we're also partnering with different institutions, I would say, that go ahead and do project based learning for the students. So that means when the students are in their holidays, also they are involved actively in some project or the other. Every time that the student has a set of holidays coming up, like right now when we have our winter vacation coming up, one of our aims is to sit with all the students and help them plan what is it that they'll be doing during their holidays to forward their career choices, or to at least kind of segregate what is it that might be of more interest to them. That is one of our major aims, and we go ahead and tell them different opportunities and activities that they can do during this particular time without feeling very overburdened, that someone is asking us to study when we're on a holiday. So the different ways in which we go ahead and help students explore this. For certain students, certain ways work. Like Rikam has said, this is to each his own. So it's more about what works for you and what does not work for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you for the clarity. Deepamas, this question is for you. So this is from one Mr. Vihan Agarwal. How does GSIS handle homesickness among students?
Okay. Good question. Parents are worried. So what happens is the very first time when the child comes to a boarding, we they live in the boarding, and one good thing about GSIS is if the child is grade 7, all the boys of grade 7, we don't have more than 30 students, 30 35 in each dorm. So they have, suppose a student is new, they have a old student as their buddy, so that that student helps that student to settle down in the school. So in the dorm itself, they have recreation place, they have board games, and the dorm parent takes care of the children. They have TV, they have lot of activities. Apart from that, the first week when the child comes, every day in the evening, they have something called as the study time. But the first week when the child joins GSIS, we don't have the study time because after 2 months of holidays, all the students are coming back from home. So we have a whole lot of activities planned for them: dance, music, whatever they have, their qualities in them. It could be a mimicry, it can be a magic show. So that whole week is spent in such a way that less of academics and more of interaction, settling down. I would also like to add that every section has a counselor. The counselor, again, talks, interacts with each and every child and helps them to settle down. In my first, when I answered my first question, I said all the teachers, including me, the coordinators, We all live on campus. So every teacher has four students who are the teachers are the tutors and these are the tutees. So they also interact with them, find out, help them what are the different difficulties that they are facing. See, to be very honest, they miss home, they miss their laptop, they miss, the comfort, but we try to give the maximum in GSIS. And within by the first video call, most of the students are settled. Yes, I won't say that the first video call are all, very happy ending, but yes, little bit of tears, but those are happy tears. They have, games, they have music, they have everything, you name it, and they have it. So everyone together, we help the child to settle down and see that because we are the second home, we are the second parents. Most of the children settle down by the first 10 days.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you very much. So we have a question regarding the admission process. So I would like to answer. What should parents know about the admission process for middle school? So please visit our website to complete the application form, where you will have to upload the previous 3 years academic transcript and make an one-time payment of rupees 30,000. That's your registration fee. The academic transcript will actually help our academic council members evaluate and review the grade sheets to understand about the child. You can also schedule an appointment and book a slot for an on like for the campus visit. So please prepare your child for an aptitude test in English, math, and second language, which will be followed by a campus tour. After lunch, there will be an interview with the coordinators and counselors, following a final interview with the headmistress. So the results will be announced in a week's time. So generally for students, like international students, all the admission process and everything remains the same, there is no difference. An important note is that a student holding a foreign passport require a valid student visa or an OCI card to study in India. This is actually a legal requirement. We can also arrange to conduct an online assessment for for students from foreign nations, following the proper rules and regulations for an online assessment. The admission team will proctor the test. Like Ms. Neetu Chelvam and I, we represent the admission team, so we'll proctor the test. However, we strongly recommend the international students and their families to visit the campus for a personal interview with the headmistress and the senior management before they report to the school. So we
Just
have.
adding to that, to Anu's point, if the child is doing ICSE curriculum and with Hindi, then yes. But if the child wants to do either MYP or the IGCSE and is doing Hindi, but would like to do French or Spanish or German, then we offer, but there will be no entrance exam for that. Just adding to that point. Only if the child has learned a subject, a foreign language, or Hindi, and would like to continue, then we take. Otherwise, it's just a simple test of where the child, what is the understanding, how the concepts are clear to the child. It's just a simple test. Thank you, Anu.
Yes. Thank you, Miss. So we have a question from Mr. Narayan Rumta. So it goes like this. Good evening, ma'am. Right now, my son is in class 7 and has opted CBSE and planning to get admitted for grade 8 in GSIS. But my main concern is how can we decide whether which course should we opt for him? So you can answer like.
I'll go for it. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Because, yes, we do have a lot of students moving in from different curricula into our school. So, as Ms. Anu mentioned, the admission process plays a very important role in understanding the child and the child's learning styles and the long term plan that parents have for the child. That is a very crucial step. that tells us a lot about the child. So when we talk to a child, we look at the child's study patterns, the child's interest, his learning styles, how the child wants to go about with different subjects, what subjects they like, how they approach it, what they don't like, and how they approach those subjects as well. So when we talk about which curricula to choose, as parents and as educators, we need to be aware of this fact that we need to look at the best curricula, the best fit curricula, because there is nothing known as this is the best curriculum for my child. Every board has its own approaches, its own objectives, all aimed at the holistic development of the child. The approaches are different. So we need to look at which is a curriculum that is the best fit for the child and accordingly choose a right one. So the admission process and the in-person conversation really plays a very important role in understanding if the child is ideal for ICSE or Cambridge or MYP. And parents also, in some cases, are very clear. They say, my child has been from CBSE and I want my child to continue in this particular curriculum without much of differences, or, I want a complete change for my child. They have their own views. So we talk to parents as well to understand and then give the best fit curricula for the child. I hope that answers.
Thank you, Miss. Yes. So, Chinamas, like we have a question regarding the assessment. What is the difference between e-assessment and traditional assessment in MYP?
Yeah, sure. E-assessment is a very specialized kind of assessment that IB MYP has come up with. It is just to let you know that e-assessment includes on-screen exam for 5 subject groups, that is sciences, mathematics, language and literature, second languages, and interdisciplinary learning. It has assessment set for 1.5 hours to 2 hours, where students get basically real life cases, case studies and practical application kind of questions, where they use their conceptual understanding of the subjects to answer the question. So there is a topic list that comes from IB, but we do not have a set syllabus. So for an example, if I have to talk about, let's say, peace in 19th century, I can talk about any peace process that has happened in 19th century. I'm talking about, history. In the similar manner, students can apply their concepts, whatever they have learned, in the framework of concept. Plus, we have e-portfolio, where students work for months creating their art e-portfolio, the design e-portfolio, and a language e-portfolio. Plus this, there is one mandatory aspect which every child must do, is personal project. And the project is externally validated. In fact, all the e-portfolios and personal project is externally validated by IB, but is done within the school under the supervision of our teachers. And the whole system where the student has to apply for, has to appear for MYPE assessment in the month of May, plus e-portfolio and personal project, which happens all through the year, gives a lot of space for students to perform well in each choice of subject that they have. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss. Rekha, Miss, we have a question regarding Cambridge curriculum from Mr. James Ranjit. My son is doing grade 7 in IB in Indonesia. He is able to speak only English and he cannot speak either Tamil or Hindi. He's learning French now. So, in this condition, can we opt for Cambridge curriculum so that he doesn't need to learn any regional language but can take French?
Thank you, Mr. James, for that question. Yes, The child can take French in the Cambridge curriculum. Our medium of instruction is English, and the language we use to converse on campus completely is English. So, a regional language is not required, and Cambridge does offer regional languages. We offer Hindi only for students who need to take it up as a subject. Otherwise, we offer French and Spanish. Now that your son is already studying French, he can continue with French in the Cambridge curriculum.
Thank you so much, Miss. Soumya, Miss, we have a question for you. So, how is the portfolio carried forward from one grade level to the next level, ensuring continuity and long term reflection? And also, what is the difference between portfolio building and simply collecting certificates? Guide us.
Collecting certificates, everyone is doing. We've done it all our lives. Any student can do collect certificates. See an opportunity, you participate and you get a certificate, great, you collected a certificate. Building a portfolio is a far more thoughtful process, right? So say for example, right now we have a student who has been, and her parents have been talking to me about how she really wants to do medicine after her grade 12 in the UK. I met this parent when the child was in grade 9. Now she's in grade 11, moving to grade 12. And how I'll give you a very kind of, quick example on how she has been developing her portfolio, which started with the grade 9. What we told the parent was, if you really think that your daughter wants to be a doctor and wants to study medicine in the UK, can you have her just shadow a doctor at a hospital? And when I said shadow a doctor at a hospital, this was a non-certificate based activity. There was no certification involved in here. The doctor was not supposed to give any recommendation letter also in this case to the student, right? Because it's just passive shadowing where you're seeing what is happening at the back of the stage, and how the entire work is being showcased. So she did that. This was a process that she followed for good 15 days. Every single day what she was doing, she was coming back and making notes about it, and she was telling herself in that notebook what could be differently done in such a case. For a grade 9 student, whatever her thought was, she was doing that. Once she moved on to grade 10, she did her first research paper, that was a secondary database research paper, where she was reading a book by a very vetted author in medicine, and she was making notes and presenting a project to the same doctor that she had shadowed before. Now, other than that, when she moved on to grade 10, she also started with her preparation for an examination, which is called UCAT. Right. Now that she's in grade 11, she is doing a course with a university in the UK itself for her summers. She's already planned for it. And she's also going ahead and shadowing another doctor. She also went ahead last summer, that when summer of 2025, she also went to a hospice home and she interned there. She was talking every single day with cancer patients, and these are all terminally ill patients. For a student who's 16 years old to go ahead and take up such a responsibility and have this kind of an experience, we really had to think over it, but we decided we'll go ahead with it. And when she came out of it, she was a far more empathetic student with great bedside manners, which is imperative for a doctor. So now, if you look at all these activities, out of all of these, the one course that she did with the university, that was the only certificate based thing that she did. Everything else were experience based things that she's done and she's made notes about. What I'm trying to tell you is that in this case, it was a real blessing that the student knew what she wanted to do. There are a lot of cases where students do not know what they want to do, but in any scenario that we have encountered so far, the students at least know that what they don't want to do. When we start with grade 9, in grade 8 and grade 9 with the students, we at least go ahead and let them ensure that they are moving in the direction that they are most interested in. Now, it's highly likely when they go ahead and experience different things, their interest might evolve or change also. Now, we talk about this kind of a scenario and portfolio building in this kind of a scenario. It is important for the students to also mention that before this, I have had these kinds of experiences that made me change the field. For example, right now in grade 12, we have a student who till grade 11 wanted to study architecture, but now she wants to apply for finance, and she is applying for finance. Now, there were a couple of things that we had to change suddenly because her interest shift was real, and she had experienced it. She was doing her internship with a real estate company, and she saw the finance department working every day. Now, what she did pick up from that working of the department is what actually made her interested. So though she was interning in a different with a different idea, she was still able to get a lot of takeaway from just by observing whatever was happening in the finance department. So when you talk in terms of portfolio building, I say that this could be an active process, which is what we are doing here, but this is also a passive process which is continuously happening with you. The idea again is keep yourself open to experiences. Do not think that I am only doing this to build my portfolio, and how will this contribute to my portfolio. Be open to experience, be open to ensuring that you learn something from everything that you do, and I think everything is sorted beyond that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss. Thank you for the clarity. Deepa, Miss, this question is for you. So, how is the religious aspects of the school implemented?
Okay. So what happens is every Sunday we have this. We have something called as a worship hour. So what happens? The children who belong to the Christian faith, they go to the church. The students who follow Islam, we have the Maulvi coming and he takes classes for them. Now, all the other students, the Hindu students, they have sessions taken by the counselors. So we talk to them about why, there's a supernatural power, God, and, they give importance to that. Plus, it is a value based lesson, right? So the counselors present these classes why it is important that we have to be honest or we have to be empathetic, and then they connect it with one of those stories, and then they bring the religion into that. So every Sunday from 9:30 to 10. Sometimes, when there are festivals, we do celebrate all the festivals. We are a very secular school. So when we have a Ganesh Chaturthi, they do why Ganesh Chaturthi? Even the boarding house parents, they take these sessions. They talk to them why Ganesh Chaturthi, why Janmashtami is celebrated, the importance of it. All that is being, taught to the children. And special food is made on those days because children should know our history, our culture. So all that is being maintained in GSIS.
Thank you, Miss. Soumya, Miss, we have a question from Mr. Raghunath. My son is doing 6th IGCSE. We are planning to put up American universities for computer science degree. What are the preparation methods available to get admission on top universities of US like MIT, Stanford, and Ivy League, etc.?
Okay, I'll ask a question to that question, but later. But before that, I'll answer the question. See, there's no single pathway. I cannot. Nobody can give you a list. If someone is claiming that they can give you a list, they're misguiding you, sir. So there's no list for it. Why is the student wanting to do computer science is one thing, and if a student has that level of clarity that the student wants to do computer science in grade 6, it's I'd love to meet that kid. It's really rare to find students who are this clear at this age. Now, how can we help them? Once a student is very sure that this is what I want to do, there are multiple programs that these universities conduct. But apart from that, when you're specifically talking about these tier 1 universities, what are these universities specifically looking for? They're looking for whether or not you're able to identify problems and make solutions for them that are viable. If you look at the general pattern in which the profiles of students who are chosen for these universities stand out, all of these students have in some capacity or the other been problem solvers and they have taken up hands-on projects, and they have published their work. They have sent out their work in the real world to be tested, to be worked upon. Now, these are long-term projects. These are not something that you start doing in grade 11 and 12. These are things that you start doing in grade 8 and 9, and you build upon it. For example, one of the students who did get to Yale, they worked on an app that was converting the American Sign Language into written language. And the process was such an eye opener for this kid. This kid actually started learning American Sign Language, and this is an example that I've multiple times shared with the students. She's just started learning American Sign Language because she liked it. And then she found out that a lot of people don't even know American Sign Language. So what's the point of learning a new way to communicate when the others don't even know how to do it? So the easier way was, in her case, that everyone has a phone. I would rather have them record me, and I'd rather have them convert the gestures that I'm making into written text so that they can understand. She identified the problem. It took her 3 years. The second year, the pause that she hit was because of the fact that there are a lot of gestures in ASL that are just finger-based gestures, and then there are other gestures in ASL wherein you need to get your fingers closer to your mouth, and those gestures she was not able to transcribe. The language that she was working upon was not helping her. She did a lot of self learning. She went ahead, she worked on the projects, and she built a pace for her. By the time she was in grade 11 is when she was able to finally put it out there and get it published as well. So that was the center of her profile, which was obviously surrounded by great and consistent academics, an amazing SAT score, doing a lot of sports, going ahead and ensuring that she went on to become the sports captain of the school that she was a part of. So all of that happened. That's why I said in the beginning, when you're looking at US, you're looking at a more broad and equally deeper profile. So when we're looking at colleges like these are the kind of, I would say, very focused activities. However, ensuring that the other interests do not die down, and we need to promote that as well. So if this is a plan for the kid, we really need to ensure that the kid is very focused towards computer science based innovation, and initiate thought that can solve problems. I hope that helps.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you so much. So we have one more question. Coordinators, please help us answer this. How do you identify a student in need of tuitions?
I can go ahead with it. Uh, if the child is facing learning difficulty, for an example, we have students here who are at various levels. Because MYP assessment comes with rubric-based assessment. So right now the child is, let's say, at 3 or 4 level, and the maximum level is 7 to 8. So we, identify the learning difficulties, what is the problem, or the topics where the child is stuck. And our teachers do give extra support here. There is a time period after the regular classes. We have me time. During that time, and also during the study hour, we choose these. I mean, these students are helped very professionally by our teachers. I think, yeah.
Thank you, Miss. Rekha, Miss, would you like to add
Yes,
your view?
I would like to add on to what Miss Archana said. Apart from that, if our teachers are all on campus, so teachers are available at all times to help our students, and they identify their difficulties in the class and beyond, and they are there to provide individual support. Also, we have the SEN department, where we have a trained educator who identifies their learning needs and provides them with all required help.
Thank you, Miss. So,
Adding to that, I just want to add to to that question, Anu. That is why we have these assessment during the time of admission. And in case we see, because we have that cutoff, minimum 60 is the cutoff for both language, math, and the second language. If the child doesn't perform, or we find
I'm sorry, Miss. There was a network issue, I believe. We were not able to hear you.
Deepa Miss, can you hear us? Deepa Miss, are you able to hear us?
yes, I think I lost my connection, right?
Yeah, could you please say it again? We
Yeah.
lost you somewhere in between.
Yeah. So, sorry. See, that is why when we have these entrance tests, we are able to gauge where the child is. Minimum of 60 percentage is the cutoff for both math, English, and the second language. And we make a note, the coordinators make a note. Suppose the child requires help in spelling or sentence construction, we do make a note and we inform the teacher, so that right from day one, we don't wait for an assessment. Right from day one, we know, okay, that handholding is done to bridge the gap, and we start it off. Just to add to what Rekha and Archana said.
Thank you, Miss. We have one more question. It's again an open question. Coordinators can help us answer. How would you counsel a child transitioning from grade 5 to grade 6 regarding which curriculum to pursue?
You want me to answer, Miss Rekha? Or
Yeah, Archana, after you.
okay, so a simple way to check is, uh, if the child is like I said before, if the child is wants to explore their learning ways, their learning style is varied. She or he wants to pick up the book, but at the same time is very interested in music, art, and things. So. And also uh, just depends upon how and in what way he or she wants to learn. If it's more of hands-on activity, discussion based research, then and it's not just that we do that. We also have very in-depth learning system where we go deep into the concepts, and we do make our notes, and we do have our notebooks where students write in the Cornell way of making notes, or in the flow charts. It's just about how the child wants to learn. And because MYP is basically a framework which focuses on skill, development, and each time the stronger skill will be in focus, but the teachers will also work on other skills. So yeah, that's it.
Adding on to what Ms. Archana said, we also had a session for parents of PYP5 to tell them on what curricula we offer in grade 6 and how it works. So if you have any further questions, you may please write to us. We can share more details.
Thank you, Miss. We have question from the same gentleman, Mr. James Rajit. So he's written, thanks for clarifying my previous question. Now my son's school term grade 7 closes in June 2026, but I am thinking of shifting him to India in March 2026. So in this case, whether GSIS can admit in March for grade 7, provided if he clears all the terms and conditions of GSIS. In short, whether GSIS can admit at any point of time during the academic year.
I would like to, yes, Deepa Miss, please carry on.
Yeah. Would you like to? Then I will, Rekha.
When it comes to admissions throughout, at any point of time during the academic year, yes, we need to look at will the child settle down, how much the child is missing out on academics, and adjustment, adaptability factor is also one we need to look into. So, since the school closes for your son in March 2026, I would give you two options. One, the child can join us in January 2026. The reason why I say this is the child will have more time to understand the school and adapt to the school and, settle down faster without much of, missing out losses in the academic side as well. If that is not feasible, then I would recommend July 2026. Because if the child is to come in the month of March, we are towards the last phase of our academic year. Our academic year spans from July to May. So there, it's a month of being in the school followed by an assessment, and then it is a summer break. So there isn't much for the child in store at that point of time. But I would also give you another option here. We have the summer camp conducted for 2 weeks in the month of June. So you could make use of that opportunity as well to explore the school and, give your child another exposure. Deepamas?
Yes. Even I wanted to, stress on this point. But if it is 7 IGCSE, then I'm a little worried because I don't think we have a seat for January. And so we would request that maybe you finish the child can finish in the month of March, and then maybe you can come down. Our admission department will be in touch. We can finish the online entrance also. We can do the interview, and then we can see where best he will fit into our system. So we are very open to that. And as Ms. Rekha said, yes, he may join us in the month of May last week for the summer program, and then join us from July, because we just want to know, because I understand that he's doing the IB curriculum, Mr. John's son, right? And he's looking for IGCSE. Yeah, so we can take this forward. Our admission department will get in touch because we need to know where the child is and where we will be able to take him further.
Thank you, Ms. Thank you. So, Ms., we have one last question. So, how can parents stay involved in your child's academic and extracurricular progress while they are in a residential setting? And how does the school partner with the parents?
Um, so we have, we have assessments in irrespective of the curricula, and we send the reports on a regular basis. So we have 4 assessments: one in the month of September, then one in the month of December, in the month of March, and in the month of May. So a detailed report of academics. When it comes to ICIG, we use the platform called the Manage Back. And when it comes to the IB, it is the TODL, that is for grade 4 to 10. So detailed report, the coordinator plus all the subject teachers about what the performance is, where there is learning gap, how the child is doing, everything in detail is sent to the parent. Twice in a year, there is once a term we give, even we send the co-curricular, all the activities report card is also sent to the parents so that they know where the child is, whether the child is a very good football player, what kind of stroke he is bested, whether he's a goalkeeper, whether he's a so what are the skills the child is developing, where he was to where he is in the second term. All that about each sport, each activity, what the child is doing, we send them a detailed report. Now, parents can write to us, to any of the coordinators, and the email address is info@GSIS. If there's anything pertaining to the dorm or the food or anything, they can address to the headmistress or the head of the school, and all of us have the access to all the emails, and one of us will be able to reply to the parent. We usually ask the parents that we need time of 24 hours, but usually in a day, we do reply to the parents. So the easiest way of communication is through mails. I hope I answered the question.
Miss,
Yes.
can I add something
Yes.
here? So there are two scheduled video calls that you will have with your child if your child is with us, and those conversations are very, very, very vital. Why? Because you can ask some pertinent questions about, what are they learning, besides how are they. So those kind of conversations can actually let you know what kind of learning is happening in the school and if the child is enjoying. And maybe that conversation can also help you come back to us, because there can be things that the child may share with you. And, so yeah, those conversations are also very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepamas. Thank you, Archanamas. That was the last question that we had. Now, I would like to thank
Sorry.
you all.
Can I
So,
say something?
yes,
Just
yes, yes, please.
adding on to whatever has already been said. Uh, so, I mean, as parents, you definitely want to know what is happening in the school, and we want you to know what is happening in the school. There's so many multiple ways that both the teachers have already spoken about. Um, Parents also get a monthly newsletter from us, which goes ahead and tells them what are the different activities that have happened in the school. Apart from that, you can please follow our Instagram page, which is an update almost every second day. And you'll be a part of all the fun that is happening here and all the learning that is happening here.
Yes. Thank you, Miss. Thank you so much. Um, yeah. So, do we have any other closing remarks? Would you like to have closing remarks, team? Yeah. And thank you all so much for your participation this evening and for your thoughtful and engaging questions you have asked. We sincerely hope the session has provided you with a very clear and insightful look into the middle school program at Good Shepherd International School. We are truly passionate about providing an environment where every child can learn, grow, and thrive across their academic and personal journeys. If you have any further question that may rise after the webinar concludes, please do not hesitate to reach out directly to our admissions department. We are here to help you. Thank you once again for dedicating your evening to us. We sincerely look forward to the possibilities of welcoming your child to a vibrant community. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.